Welcome to our YouTube channel US Tales. Today we will talk about the latest military coup in Russia. Russian mercenary group Wagner, led by Yevgeny Prigozhin, accused the Russian Ministry of Defense of bombing their military sites in Ukraine. While the Defense Ministry denied these allegations, Prigozhin claimed to have organized a military coup involving 25,000 mercenaries. The situation was unclear, with three possible scenarios: a false claim by Prigozhin, an attack by the Kremlin on Wagner, or an accidental attack leading to an overreaction. President Putin was aware of the situation, and measures were being taken, according to his press secretary. The National Anti-Terrorism Committee dismissed Prigozhin's claims and initiated a criminal case against him. Wagner claimed to have support from a large portion of Russian soldiers. Security measures were heightened in Moscow, and there were reports of clashes and roadblocks. The Russian FSB launched a probe into calls for mutiny, while the Defense Ministry urged Wagner to stand down. The Kremlin's response and Putin's whereabouts remained uncertain, causing speculation among Russian elites. The Federal Security Service, FSB, reportedly allowed Wagner to enter Rostov without resistance, suggesting their possible involvement or an attempt to save face. Prigozhin alleged that the Russian chief of the General Staff, Gerasimov, ordered airstrikes on Wagner convoys, which were refused by pilots. FSB and SOBR established roadblocks on the Moscow-Voronezh-Rostov-on-Don highway. Wagner accused Russian military personnel not supporting their campaign as collaborators with Ukrainians. Several Russian military generals released videos urging Wagner to halt the attack. Oman and SOBR units of the Russian Guard were on high alert, and security in Moscow was significantly intensified. Reports suggested clashes between Wagner and Rokgvardia units near Kazachy Lahari. Limited internet access was estimated at 25% of the Russian population. Rostov streets were filled with armed vehicles, and Russian special forces were flying to the region. Russia's defense ministry claimed Ukraine was taking advantage of the situation to destabilize Russian forces. The Russian Ministry of Defense repeatedly urged Wagner to stand down. Reports of panic in the Kremlin, difficulty reaching Putin, and growing support for Prigozhin among St. Petersburg elites. Prigozhin vowed to destroy anyone opposing their path, while Putin received continuous reports on measures taken against the rebellion. The southern Russian military district headquarters in Rostov was surrounded by armed military personnel, including tanks and trucks with Wagner Group and Russian National Guard badges. It was confirmed that many soldiers involved were part of the Wagner Group. The presence of factions from both the Russian military and National Guard indicated a collusion between Wagner and loyalist forces supporting the ongoing coup. Reports suggested that the defense ministry units involved in the Ukraine war had shifted allegiance to Prigozhin's command. Commanders Shoigu and Gerasimov, who were loyal to Putin, were rumored to have been removed from power. Notably, Russian President Putin made a speech referring to the events as treason and a mutiny. He vowed to repel the attack and mentioned the involvement of Wagner, while Prigozhin responded by claiming that Putin had made the wrong choice and predicted a new president for Russia. Wagner forces, potentially accompanied by defected members of the Russian military, reportedly advanced towards Moscow. Limited airstrikes were conducted by the Russian Air Force in support of Wagner. Machine gun positions were observed around Moscow, indicating heightened security measures in the city. Unverified reports suggested clashes, including the shooting down of a Russian warplane over Voronezh. The situation on the ground remained uncertain. Concerns were raised regarding the relocation of Russian nuclear warheads to Belarus, adding to the complexity and potential. In an unexpected turn of events, the leader of the coup attempt, Yevgeny Prigozhin, head of the Wagner Group, released an official statement announcing the end of the coup. Prigozhin revealed that the decision to retreat was motivated by the desire to prevent bloodshed among their fighters and expressed responsibility for avoiding further violence. Despite their retreat, Prigozhin emphasized that they had covered a significant distance since the March of Justice on June 23 without any casualties. Belarusian President Lukashenko played a crucial role in brokering a peace agreement with Prigozhin. The terms of the agreement were accepted by Prigozhin, leading to a halt in the movement of Wagner forces and their return to their bases. The agreement also ensured security guarantees for the fighters of the Wagner Group. As a result, reports emerged of Wagner forces not only leaving Moscow Oblast but also withdrawing from Rostov. Furthermore, Russian media reported that criminal cases against Prigozhin had been dropped, and he and his forces would receive full immunity. In light of these developments, restrictions on vehicle movement in the Voronezh region, which witnessed clashes during the coup attempt, were lifted. The conclusion of the coup marked a significant shift in the situation, bringing a temporary end to the crisis and providing relief from the imminent threat of further unrest.